told you on the first day, we have many offices outside Lebanon, and Mr. Frem is the president of the Board of Trustees and president of all our offices outside Lebanon. Mr. Frem is a nationalist, entrepreneur, industrialist, community advisor, community advocate, and a big believer. He is the president and the CEO of Indefco Group, a Lebanese-owned and based multinational manufacturing group employing over 10,000 people worldwide. He is managing over 39 manufacturing plants and 21 commercial companies manufacturing plastic, paper, and corrugated packaging, tissue and consumer products, machinery, and alternative energy sources. He was the president of the Association of Lebanese Industrialists from 2010 till 2014, and in January 2013, he launched Lubnan Al-Afdal, Better Lebanon, a national initiative with political, economical, and social dimension, with a clear roadmap for a renewal in the Lebanese national contract as an attempt for a restructuring change in the Lebanese continuous political crisis. Please help me to welcome Mr. Neemat Frem. The floor is for you.
I am so sorry that we bored you with my story. So, thank you very much, Madam. You are lovely. You are our angel. You know, I believe in angels, and Madame Bustani is our angel. She has been doing great in creating this anchor for our organization throughout the years. And we thank you in the name of our past generations, but most importantly in our forthcoming generations of Maronites. You will be remembered as our Madame Thatcher. Our Maronite Mrs. Thatcher. Welcome to Lebanon. We are, as usual, every year, this is a reunion of hope for us here living in Lebanon. Because we see in you why we are still believing in Lebanon ourselves. We believe in Lebanon because of you, because of those Lebanese around the world, because of the Lebanese in Lebanon, because of the Lebanese themselves. You have been learning in the last 2 weeks about our history, about why we are proud of Lebanon. But in fact, when you looked at what you have learned, I think you would agree with me that what we are proud of is the Lebanese, it's not Lebanon. Don't you feel that there is a disconnection between the Lebanese and Lebanon? The Lebanese are much better than Lebanon today. The Lebanese are much better than Lebanon today. And we want to have Lebanon as good as the Lebanese. Why do I say this? I'm a proud Lebanese. I love my country. I will die for my country. But at the same time, I tell you, the country that we want is not what we are seeing. We want to have a country that is more productive, that is more beautiful, that's more organized, that's more professional. We don't want a country that is unprofessional, inefficient, dirty. Why? Because the Lebanese are not like this. The Lebanese are fantastic, great people that have excellence in their DNA. To connect, really the DNA of the Lebanese is the excellence in nature. Before the word was used in the business world, you could feel that the Lebanese, throughout their ancestors, from the time of the Phoenicians, they had this excellence in nature. They always wanted, in their DNA, always wanted to outperform themselves. So this is who we are. How do we convert this into a collective success? This is where we have failed. This is where we have failed. This is where the ancestors of the Americans succeeded. The ancestors of the French succeeded, of the British succeeded, of other countries succeeded. We could not. Why? We have to study this. We have to try to understand it. And this is what we have been trying to do. And this is why we decided that we can change this. When you analyze this, we understood that our problem is that, first of all, geographically, we are placed in a place which is extremely, extremely challenging, because there are 4 or 5 fault lines that pass through Lebanon. Throughout history, not today. These fault lines have created a lot of challenges on Lebanon. Second, the resources of Lebanon are not enough to protect the leaders or the kings or the princes of Lebanon in the history, so that they could not sustain. Even if they have a breakthrough like Fakhreddin or Amir Bashir, they could not have enough resources to sustain their success. It was like a blip in history of 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Why I think today we have a chance to build a fantastic nation? Because the world today is different. The world that we are looking at today, the connected world, the global village world, is a world where we will excel, because the curse of the geography will be behind us. We are not anymore confined to this piece of land only. We are a global village, and the Lebanese in a global village is like a fish in a sea. We are, from our DNA, we are made for global village life. We are the wanderers of the world. From the Phoenician time, the Phoenician, created the concept of the global village before everybody, because they insisted on not building an empire, confined empire. They built a network. 3,000 years before what we are talking today about networks, 3,000 years ago, they created a network, and they said the value creation of a network is directly correlated to the connectivity of the elements. When I read this, don't you remember of a local area network, for instance, or of any kind of structure that has processing power today? How much it is important, the linkage. So we 3,000 years ago started a concept of that nature. We believe that today, with our new era, the world is made for us. And this is why we believe that those that are staying in Lebanon thought that opening the door, playing the role of a catalyst among those descendants of the Lebanese all around the world is so important today, but we cannot do more than the catalyst. It's you, the diaspora of the world, that's going to rebuild this network. And I tell you, it's an echo in your past. It's an echo in your DNA. You cannot stop it. It's so easy. It's like this. What we want, the picture that I have in mind is that it's like an old princess sleeping for thousands of years. And now we came and we are kissing her to be awakened. So we want to awaken the princess, the sleeping princess. And I think that we are passing the knee of the curve. Now it's starting up. I feel it. There is a convergence. In the last 10 years, we have been working very hard. I want you to have the concept, but then to have the offices, but then to have to buy in. And now we're starting to have a system. We are in the phase of the system building. We created a platform, software platform, to connect the world. we are seeing a bit called chain reaction, uncontrolled chain reaction. So we're not controlling this. When I hear Mr. Anthony, when I saw what I saw Anthony today doing with his software, I'm impressed. Mr. Assad, this is uncontrolled chain reaction, which is so beautiful. لأنه the spirit is good, and let the spirit flow. And we are seeing it coming. Now the beauty is how to connect it all and make it converge toward a vision. So we are at this stage. We are at the stage of, after the nursery of the ideas started, and it's starting all around. We can feel it, it's mushrooming all around. Now, we want to think about a converging idea. And I think that you and every one of you that is coming and going back should help us develop this idea. I think that the converging idea is we are a network of Lebanese descendants. It's not we're not only Lebanese. Because sometimes you're not Lebanese. You don't have a citizenship. What we are a network of Lebanese descendants scattered in the world, connected with a vision of Lebanon, with a certain vision of Lebanon. We have a Lebanon in our heart and our mind, and we want to talk about it. And this is our dream, this is our future, and this is where we think that we can be in this cyberspace. It's higher than a cyberspace. It's a ideological space where we have a clear vision of a country that has some roots in a place called Lebanon, but it is scattered all around the world. What I'm saying now is something shocking a little bit, but I'm telling you, we are living in a very fast world. This new world, space, places are relative. Being connected tells you that you can be anywhere, yet you are interested in. It is an intentional world. The intentions become so important. Your interest becomes so important. The place is important, but you can be somewhere else and have your heart in a different place. And this is what I'm calling on you. I'm telling you, you are young, you are preparing yourself for a new world, for a new life. In this new world, you can have a Lebanese identity and a global identity. You can have both. You can live in Brazil and be connected to Lebanon, and come and go between Lebanon and Brazil. But most important, be connected in your Facebook, in your business world, in your influence. So if we have defined together now this new world, this new era, and how you can be a citizen of the world and being Lebanese, we are going to talk about ourselves, our duty here, the Lebanese living in Lebanon. How can we help you connect through all of this? Our duty is to make you more influential in Lebanon. Our duty is to make you more influential in Lebanon. How are we doing it? One, we want you to have your citizenship, and we are working very hard to open all doors so that no stumbling blocks in front of this endeavor. We are succeeding, not enough, but we are succeeding. We need you to meet us halfway by saying that, yes, we want our citizenship. It's so important to be influential. It's so important to be influential. The second one is that you are informed about Lebanon. So your influence becomes an intelligent influence. Thirdly, we would love to help you through our network so that you succeed more and more in life, and you are more stronger and successful. So this is how we can help each other more and more. We believe if you believe like us, that there is something in the diversity of Lebanon that is so important and it's worth it to make the effort to protect it and to grow it, we are on board together on a journey. We have a journey called Lebanon, the better Lebanon. This is why I insisted on having a better Lebanon initiative. What said, but if you want I don't insist on the name Better Lebanon, I don't care. But the idea is that the Lebanon of your dreams, the new Lebanon. This is a Lebanon that is, one, much more efficient, much more professional, much more beautiful. It looks more like the dream Lebanon that your fathers and grandfathers told you about. We want to have it, and we are having it. So, if I want to leave you with one thing, I tell you that the new world is a world of connection, of connectivity, of networks. The Lebanese have this in their genes, so this is a territory that they can win. We are building this network since 10 years. We want to grow it more and more. You are a major part of this network because the network is direct. The power of the network is proportional, grows exponentially with every single person or ingredient in the network. Four, the whole network, once it's connected, wants to see a Lebanon that is the dream Lebanon, where you can connect with it physically on the ground, yet stay a global citizen. To do this, we want you to be more influential. We are going to help you be more influential, you and your fathers and grandfathers. I think that the talent pool of the Lebanese in the world is exceptional. What we need is the right bridgehead, we call it, in Lebanon, to use it. I hope that we can help you, we can help each other by having the right bridgeheads so that we can use all the resources of the diaspora to build this dream Lebanon. All of this starts with an idea of a network. Keep this in mind. We want to strengthen the network. Every one of you should think alone. It's not a controlled thing. It's really a chain reaction. What we are doing, we are opening your hearts and your brain. We want you to believe that inside you, you can make a huge change if you let your imagination and creativity flourish in building the network. Think of the network, your friends, but you have so much tools. The world today, really, and I was growing I'm not older than you, I'm not very old, but I'm like 50 this year. So I remember when I was 20, I had a lot of beautiful ideas, engineering ideas and other things, where really I could not execute them. When I look today with the young engineers, with the young creative people, I could see that there is limitless capacity. Why? Because the world is built today of a big Lego game. It's like building blocks. You have building blocks of everything. You can build everything as long as you think well. So the bottleneck is creativity. Can you imagine what sort of building blocks you have in your hands in the world today? Between the open source systems on the computers, between the capacity of processors. You know what is the processing power of this phone? And you could, I was reading yesterday, Pioneer 1 and 2, that's today in the space, the first, those satellites that are going into space today. The processing, 20 years ago, they left. The processing powers that they have, that you have in the phone, is maybe 1,000 times more. And yet they were able to do. So today you can do huge things. You can do, Voyager, I called Pioneers, Voyager 1 and 2. So I think today you can do a lot of beautiful things if you have creativity. Anthony, when you left, I talked about you. I saw what Anthony did, for instance. It's an initiative of his own. In 3 months, he has 1.8 million visitors on his site. He talks about good news. By the way, you reminded me, Télé Lumière, now which is taking us on now on air, has created a news network, but instead of calling it CNN, it called it GNN, Good News Network, because we felt that we needed a good news network, and you built a good news network about Lebanon. So he has a good news network for about Lebanon, and he has 1.8 million visitors in 3 months. So I invite you to think of ideas like this. What we want is to have, can you imagine if we have like a connection, like a Facebook thing, of in every country, Lebanese descendants, where they go, they register, and they talk to each other. So they have huge ideas. They trade, they gossip, they marry. So really, I don't want to tell you, I don't want to spoil the joy of discovering. You have 100,000 ideas. Go, flourish, use the building blocks of the world. Huge. You cannot imagine what is the capacity that is in your hand today. That you cannot imagine. Read a little bit, look around you, and you understand the capacity that you have in your hand. You can use it to build this network. And just my last remark, we were making a small attempt to try to send active emails to requesting Lebanese descendants to get there, to join Libanity, which is our software today. That were you exposed to Libanity? Where was they exposed? Okay. I want you to know only that I don't want to, again, say something that you will hear in 2 days. Part of what we have been building, as I told you, this network, we built it physically, a platform called libanity.gov that is like an e-government, if you want, electronic government. It's a process to have citizenship. It starts from one point and takes you throughout the steps until you have the citizenship. And we are linking it with the government of Lebanon, which is a very difficult task. And we have Liban Post now on board that it takes care of all the communication. And we are training physically the official administration in Lebanon for every computer station, what they should do. Anyway, we cannot use this network, this tool, if we don't have traffic, if you don't have people coming to it. So part of what you will be doing is bringing traffic to this portal. So we're putting all the ingredients together. What we need is your creativity to build this network. And my last remark, I want to tell you, when we were doing this, trying to bring some names, we went into LinkedIn. We had people search the LinkedIn in an intelligent way. We found out that if you put some names of Lebanese families on LinkedIn, you'll be surprised how much Lebanese there are. I think 700,000 names, and you have all the countries of professional people. This is the tools. I'm just giving you ideas about what sort of tools you have in your hands. So I leave this beautiful initiative. I'm sure you have a lot of other initiatives in your life. You are at an age where you are building your career, you are building your name, you're building a story. You have a personal story that you are building. Please add this dimension to it. Building the network. It's a beautiful initiative. I promise you it will pay back. It will pay back for you and for your children. Thank you again. I didn't want to talk too much shaky poetry. I wanted to be technical with you because I felt that this year, I'm not coming at the beginning. Usually I used to come at the beginning, so I talk more about different things. Today I want it to be something actionable. I want you to go with a action list. Please go help us build this network. Thank you again for making the time to come here. Thank you very much.
Test. Any questions?
Ideas, share it. تفضل.
Thank you so much. My name is Antonio from Mexico, and I just want to say it for mostly of the Latin American people, we are the fourth generation. So passing the years, our Arabic language are missing. But in the first time when we will hear, we feel like a real connection with this country. Because it's not only the land of our ancestor, our history began here in Lebanon. So our work in Latin America is hard because we try to promote Lebanon outside our house with social clubs as well, with the community. And every time when the people ask about our last names, because they are not common in Latin America, we are really proud to say it. We have Lebanese roots.
Can you imagine 20 years down the road when Lebanon will be like we are talking about, like we are dreaming it for? How easy your life will be when you talk about Lebanon worldwide? How easy it will be?
Diane from Brazil. Mr. Neemat, I would like to know about the claim the citizenship, Lebanese citizenship from the maternal side, because it's my case, and I really would like to have my Lebanese citizenship. Do you think that mother side?
I thought
Sorry.
Yeah, I heard, I understood, I understand, yeah. Yes.
Do you think that it would be possible in a short time?
This is, first of all, we are going to discuss it more. You're going to discuss it more on Tuesday. I will not be here, sorry, I will be away from Lebanon again. But I want you to know that this is a very difficult subject in Lebanon. It's not a, we have, first of all, from the concept of right, what's right, this is right. A mother is like a father. It's even more important. The womb is more important than anything else in the world. So, we have a political problem in Lebanon. We have major issues in Lebanon, and this subject is subject to other and further elements in its decision. We tried at some point of time. Then we found out that it is opening more problems than having solutions. For the time being, as we speak today, we don't have a solution. So I cannot promise anything today. What we can say is that once we have more stability into other planes, into other spheres of Lebanon, this subject will be definitely on the table and will come back to a normal situation, which is the descendants of Lebanese mothers. What we have done will be beneficial for this one day. Why? Because we have freezed the names of the source, and the 1925 census, where we have those Lebanese on this census, and we are saying that all the descendants of those Lebanese are going to become Lebanese. This has been done. So, step by step, once we solve the other problems, we can say now what we succeeded in saying is that the descendants of the male descendants of these on the list of these Lebanese on the census of 1925 are Lebanese today, the male descendant. Our next step will be the male and female descendants. This will be a next step. Sorry, but we have other problems here which are not normal. They are very specific to Lebanon, to the geography of Lebanon, and most importantly, to the demography of Lebanon. Yeah. Thank you very much. So, yes, I will see you on the 18th. I travel a lot because this is why I was sharing with you a little bit how you can be Lebanese and citizen of the world. And don't worry, don't think that if you we want you to come and increase the traffic in Beirut. No, we want you to stay all around the world and be Lebanese.